my favorite time of the quarter, Tesla earnings on July 23rd. And as usual, we're over on Say, looking at the top rated Tesla investor questions that have been submitted for the earnings call. This is always a great insight into what investors are thinking. Major areas of focus, whether these are short or long term, can be quite telling. Also a great opportunity to jump the gun, because I'll actually be doing my best to attempt to answer the questions as I would expect Tesla to answer them a week ahead of time. We're first going to look at questions that have been voted on by the most number of total Tesla shares held. We'll then look at the top voted, which is the most number of different Tesla shareholders who voted on them. Gets a little bit confusing, but the reason for doing both, most shares, a couple of big institutional investors who happen to be on Say, can skew these results enormously, whereas top voted gives a much better picture of what retail investors specifically are interested in. Usually there's a fair bit of overlap too. First thing, as usual, we're going to look at the tags. The top tag, full self-driving, followed by Robotaxi, followed by Optimus, followed by Cybercab. Overall, this is a very promising sign. All major future profit drivers for the company. And I see SpaceX sneaking in here as the 5th most popular tag. Not something you would expect to typically see on a company's earnings call questions. A different company being the 5th most popular tag on submitted questions. But here we are. So let's have a look at some of the top ones, starting with the top. 4.7 million Tesla shares represented on this one. Almost $20 billion worth of Tesla stock wanting to know the answer to this. What's the current status of Optimus Gen 3 production ramp, initial deployment in factories, and external sales timeline and volume for 2027? What tasks can we expect the Optimus to perform by end of 2027? On the first part of that question, in case you missed it, via the Tesla manufacturing account on X recently, this post with a video end of an era, decommissioning the original Model S and X assembly line in just 46 days. The decommissioning of the S and X lines is making way for the first Optimus production line. Now, it's a little bit confusing with the terminology. Optimus V3 or Gen 3, as it's sometimes referred to, is the first actual production model of Optimus. This production line ultimately could be up to 1 million Optimus units per year. The reason that Tesla recently deleted the Model S and X and have now decommissioned the production lines was because this was the fastest way to make room for production, volume production of the first consumer Optimus robots. So getting back to the investor question, I think what we'll get from Tesla in terms of a current status update on the production ramp is, hey guys, in case you missed it, we recently showed that we've recently finished decommissioning the S and X production lines and are now starting to tool for Optimus production, aiming for later this year on initial deployment in factories. Tesla might point out the obvious, which will be that they're already using some Optimus robots doing useful value-added tasks in their own factories. Boring, repetitive, simple stuff. No doubt Tesla has pretty aggressive timelines for external sales, but I suspect the first many thousands, if not tens of thousands of Optimus humanoid robots will be retained for Tesla's own internal use / training for additional factory and warehouse-like tasks before being sold to external customers. The next question, another nearly $20 billion of Tesla stock wants to know, what are the main constraints to expanding robotaxi operations faster, and how do you see that lining up with Cybercab production? This is a great question. We'll provide some useful insight depending on what we hear as an answer. My best guess here is the main constraint is Tesla themselves being hyper cautious. Again, the stakes are literally life and death in some situations, so you do not want to roll out robotaxi any faster than you are absolutely certain you can without introducing unnecessary risk. So I think Tesla is the main factor constraining the expansion of robotaxi. I think the second factor would be regulatory approvals, which, by the way, are in the process in many states and cities throughout the US. So it's not like there's not progress being made here, but a lot of this stuff happens behind the scenes. The last part of this question, how it lines up with Cybercab production, I think Tesla's probably going to answer that they've timed things pretty well to the best of their ability. Most likely will be scaling both production and robotaxi operations roughly in tandem, which is exactly what you'd want. You don't want to be producing more Cybercabs than you can deploy or have approval for more robotaxis that you can put into operation. Tesla does, however, to their benefit, have a little bit of wiggle room here, because if in the event the production ramp itself is actually lagging behind approvals, they have plenty of Model Ys that can operate as robotaxis in new cities, at least to get up and running. The next question, A fraction of the shares represented is basically identical, just about the pace of the robotaxi rollout. So we'll skip this, see if the next one's any better, and if not, we'll switch to the top voted, not most shares represented questions. So the next question, the final one here before we switch to top voted. To reward long-term Tesla retail shareholders for their loyalty, who I'll add have benefited enormously financially, that in and of itself is quite the reward, can you commit to achieving at least half of the goals outlined in your 2025 compensation plan before considering any offers to acquire or merge Tesla? I'm not sure who submitted this question, but the odds of getting a straight answer on this is going to be pretty challenging, because if, in theory, a merger was under consideration, Elon is not going to have he can't talk about anything like this, can he? He's going to have to say, can't really discuss this. I would also just like to add something here, because this question tacitly claims that loyal Tesla retail shareholders would, if they're not being rewarded, I guess that would mean they're being punished. So Tesla investors would be punished if, hypothetically, Tesla were to merge or be acquired by SpaceX, presumably, before at least half of these goals had been achieved. Putting aside the obvious synergies between these two companies, there are many of the opinion that the ultimate reward for loyal Tesla retail investors would be to gain access to a proportional amount of SpaceX, thanks to their Tesla shareholdings. Also, side note for those who are unaware, if there was a merger or acquisition, it's pretty obvious that Musk's targets would still remain in place and or be adjusted accordingly. For example, the market cap things would obviously have to be adjusted to the new entity, but targets like 1 million of this or 10,000 of that, like FSD subscribers, robotaxis in operation, would still remain. Alternatively, new additional goals could also be potentially approved. But just to be clear, a potential merger wouldn't be a way for Musk to get out of having to achieve any of these goals. Now, let's switch over to the top voted shares. There might be some overlap, but there are probably a few novel ones here. Let's see here. We've skipped over this one. That was previously there. Why has growth of robotaxi vehicles stalled? When will we see Cybercab start customer rides? Well, unfortunately for whoever asked this question, it won't age well by the time it gets to the earnings call. We're over on Robotaxi Tracker. We can see Texas DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, registered. So in the last 2 weeks, roughly, dozens of additional future Tesla robotaxis have just been registered, shown differently over on fsddb.com, Tesla's robotaxi fleet over time. Keeping in mind that we're looking at a period from June 9th at 69 nice robotaxis. Just over 1 month later, 175. If you zoom in close enough to any little period of time, it might look flat, look stalled, look like nothing's happening. But if you zoom out a little bit, the fleet is growing. Not as fast as most people expected, myself included. But a little patience and perspective goes a long way. I will answer the second part of the question as well. When will we see Cybercab start customer rides? My guess, I'd bet my left and right nuts actually on before the end of the year. I think most likely, this is a guess, and obviously I don't know anything. I'm just seeing Cybercabs appearing, testing throughout the US, production ramping. My best guess would be sometime in the next quarter, as in the next 90 days, as I'm recording this. If it doesn't happen, I won't be absolutely stunned, but I think that there's much better than even odds that the first actual Cybercab begins operating in the next 90 days. Next question, another double up. So basically every investor, other than the Optimus question, wants to know about autonomy, Cybercab, and are we there yet? One final question just to round this video out. What are the biggest remaining technical and manufacturing bottlenecks preventing Optimus from reaching mass production? And what concrete milestones should investors watch over the next 12 months to judge whether Tesla is on track? This is a good multi-part question. The biggest remaining technical bottleneck, hands down, pun intended, in my opinion, which I'm just a mid-wit content creator, but whatever, for Optimus is the hand. There's no point doing volume production of your first iteration of Optimus before you've really handled the hand design. My guess is that would be the last bit of hardware in terms of the actual physical design of Optimus before mass production begins. Whether or not it's already solved, done, sorted out, I don't know. We haven't seen an update for a while. So I assume that the hand's the final piece of the puzzle. May already be solved though. It was pretty close last time we saw, but who knows. As for the manufacturing bottlenecks, way out of my depth on that. Obviously, building out supply chain is going to be a tough challenge, as always. Ramping is going to be slow. We've heard it a million times from Musk. The slowest piece of the entire production process can hold everything up. Can only move as fast as the slowest piece. But we've just seen the video. They've decommissioned the SNX production facilities. They've made space and now, no doubt, are beginning to tool and build out the Optimus production line. Concrete milestones, I'd be looking for confirmation that production's going to begin. We would then assume that the hand is solved. Next real milestone would be the start of production. And then some of those early produced low volume Optimus, as they start to ramp things up, actually being deployed into Tesla facilities for further testing, validation, and training. To sum up these questions, probably one of the better calls in terms of the focal points. Everyone wants to know when Cybercab, massive scale, when Robotaxi, massive scale, when Optimus production begin. Good sign. Thanks for watching. If you appreciate the content and want to support the channel, check out the links below where you can get early access to daily videos, unlock hundreds of exclusive pieces of content, and plenty more. AG1 has been part of my daily health protocol for almost half a decade. It's packed full of vitamins and minerals and helps me fill in nutritional gaps while supporting energy, digestion, and immune function. It also has prebiotics and probiotics to promote gut health. I take my health very seriously, and so should you. Try AG1 today by visiting drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment and enjoy a free welcome kit with vitamin D3 plus K2 and AG1 travel packs. That's drinkag1.com/SMR.